the end of the series against the Orlando Magic. He's coming off of a 15-point, 15-rebound, his first double-double, basically, of the postseason as we get set to tip off the Cavaliers and Detroit Pistons. And by the way, the Pistons won their first playoff series in 18 years in quite a dramatic fashion. They had to rally from a 3-1 deficit to overcome Orlando. Now, it was gritty, it wasn't easy, they had to get it out of the mud, but the top-seeded Pistons kind of like that. That's Detroit basketball. Here's an inside look at their Game 7 victory.
How you feel?
Game 7. That's how I feel.
Now it comes down to one game. The #1 seed fought off 2 elimination games. Can they finish the job?
Game 7 is one of those moments where you get a lucky opportunity. This is the one game where you actually try to be perfect. You box out every time. You remember to keep your arms wide. All of the assignments that you've been taught since YMCA basketball, that's what goes into Game 7, and that's what makes it most fun.
Banchero up the left side. Banchero stops, fires for 3.
Here comes Paolo. Banchero against Cunningham. What a matchup between these two. And Banchero now 16 points already.
Let's be a little more aggressive.
It's a big 1 minute for both teams. Harris for 3. Tobias Harris erupting here in the second quarter.
Let's communicate, let's be physical, let's dictate, and then we can get out and run.
Cunningham the crossover. Cunningham the finish. Cunningham is cooking here in the second half. He is made for the big stage. Cunningham floats it up and in. And the Pistons just keep rolling. He gets the ovation. 32 points, 12 assists, another gem from Cade Cunningham. Well, the Pistons will win their first playoff series in 18 years, overcoming a 3-1 deficit to keep their dream season alive.
That's our team, man. It's our spirit. That's what we do. Hell of a series.
Know what to do, brother.
I think it's one guy, man, who just did his thing. You know what I mean? Top to bottom, man. I think Tobias, man. Yeah.
We learn every series we in. We definitely learned a lot in this series right here. But just feel this feeling right now.
Take care of your bodies.
Together all the time, man. All the time together. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
You can find more episodes of Chasing History on the NBA app. I love Tobias Harris. The 15-year vet really showed up big time in that first round. But let's not forget where Detroit came from. 2 seasons ago, they had 14 wins. Now they're sitting here as the top seed and having to battle back in round 1. Remember, they were down 24 points in Game 6, an elimination game, made it to this moment. You know, Cade Cunningham said that their team grew up a lot during the first round. How do they use what they learned, though, VC, here in the second round against Cleveland?
I mean, understanding they have to have a hit-first mentality and understanding they're the #1 seed. They earned that spot. Everybody wants to knock off the top dog, and they are that. They're the hunted, and they're the team right now that's sitting at the top of the East. And if they want to continue their playoff season, they have to play better in first quarters. They have to play better early. They can't allow particularly teams to come in their building and have their way like we saw the Orlando Magic do.
I think, for me, we first round, we talked about Jalen Duren. I'm going to go back to Jalen Duren. And you mentioned this, that he started to pick it up towards the end of that series. I think he's going to come in here with a different mindset. He should come into this series with a different mindset, understanding and bringing a high level of physicality into that court. Mobley gets in foul trouble, right? Being aggressive and taking advantage of Mobley being foul trouble prone. And also Cade, right? Getting it going from the beginning. Getting everybody going from the beginning. Tobias getting it going from the beginning. Your bench coming in the game, being ready to play. You got to put together 48 minutes. Now, this is Game 1, and we also understand how big Donovan Mitchell is in Game 1 historically. But they have an opportunity to come out Game 1, follow up off of that Game 7 win against Orlando, and really set the tone for this series.
Is the Wendell Carter versus Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, does this matchup play a little bit more in Jalen Duren's favor or less? I'm just not sure from in your perspective.
Well, I think it plays into his favor because the Twin Towers, what are they known for? I mean, they are talented and they're good at rebounding. They have great energy, but the
sticking one is that they're soft, right? That's what everybody thinks. They're soft, and they have a chance to rewrite that, right? But now you're going up against a guy that is extremely physical and plays at a physical type of a basketball that they're going to have to get accustomed to. They're going to have to adapt to. For Jalen Durham, I'm not worried about his scoring. I'm worried about him keeping these guys off the glass, being physical with them, wearing them down, right? But here's the advantage that they can have, though, because it's two of them. He only could box out one of those guys, and that leaves the other one free. And that assignment is going to be for Tobias Harris to be able to box one of these guys out. But I think, for Cleveland's sake, they could dominate the boards with their twin towers, right? With their energy and their length.
I see our director saying, let's get to beef stew. Let's talk about what Isaiah Stewart's going to do in this game since y'all talk about bigs. Don't forget about our guy out there and the impact that he had in the first round, too.
He's going to need that in this round, too, because those twin towers is not nothing to play around with down there over there in Cleveland. His energy, his impact, it has to be a revolving door. He has to go and be impactful in his minutes. Duren has to come in and be impactful in his minutes. It can't be a lull with those two bigs on Detroit in this game, in this series.
And for Detroit, be who you are.
Yeah.
You are a physical team. You don't worry about how sexy it looks on the basketball court. You don't worry about how sexy your game looks. This is muddy up the game and worry about what the end results are, and that's who they are. And as far as Jalen Duren, this feeds right into who you are as a basketball player. So just murk up the game.
So if Detroit Pistons are not sexy, what are the Cleveland Cavaliers? What would you deem them in their style of play? You like that?
That's a good one.
What are they?
Plead the fifth.
I like their offensive style. Like their elegance.
What are we doing?
Their elegance on the offensive
Okay.
But I want to say thing about Duren and Isaiah Stewart. I think the most important thing for them is availability and just being smart with their fouls. And, you know, because when, like you say, when they're needed in this game to keep those guys or to offset the bigs of Cleveland. So beat Stu's ability to block shots. That's important for them, saving points, possessions, and getting them extra possessions. But when they do the silly things, like get the silly fouls, the silly technicals, you now give Life and Cleveland another opportunity because you put them in the penalty or you change the momentum because of how you play.
And we also have the JB factor of being fired by Cleveland.
True.
And,
yes, sir.
And really understanding all the holes in that playbook.
All the tendencies.
Right? So he knows everything about that Cleveland Cavaliers playbook. He got assistants that's with him, that was with him in Cleveland.
Not just the playbook, but how to guard.
How to guard.
Right? How to throw a defense at Donovan Mitchell and James Harden.
Yeah, it'll be a fun chess match. By the way, JB Bickerstaff, he did sign a contract extension after winning that playoff series for Detroit basketball the first time since 2008. He was like, I'm going to go get this money, and I'm going to go back to my old girl. I'm going to show up. She's going to have to come to my house, okay? We're going to have a conversation about this. Okay, James Harden, all the expectations on Cleveland in this postseason. We'll dive more into this matchup when we come back. Tonight against OKC, but James Harden is in Cleveland running the Cavs offense and VC. What does that mean for the Cavaliers?
You have a guy, a veteran, who's averaging 6 assists a game that makes the game easier for everyone else because you know he could do it for himself. You see here, he just recognizes Donovan Mitchell, we need to get you going. Donovan throws it back and said, no, you go in. James throws it back and said, Donovan, you get in your bag. You see here, James Harden, he gets into the teeth of the defense. He understands, I draw 3, if not 4 people. It's now just a catch and shoot for Evan Mobley. Zero stress, just catch it and shoot it. Pick and roll. You set the screen and you give James Harden an advantage. Now he gets to do his work. Everybody, his eyes are up. He knows where his guys are, gets into the teeth of the defense once again, makes the play easy for Jared Allen. Here's another one. Here's a screen, great screen. His vision, he knows what's there already. He's just waiting and waiting for the play to develop to get Jared Allen an easy bucket. He can read the court. He understands when it's time for him to shoot, when it's time to get off the ball to make the play, the right play for someone. And like you've said multiple times, he was brought there for a reason to do just that, to make the game easier for the bigs and allow Donovan Mitchell just to be a scorer. And I'm looking for a lot of that tonight early in the game.
Has that happened, Melo? Those two things that he just mentioned?
So far, so good. It was a little up and down in the first series against Toronto, but no matter what happened in that series, this is the series that Cleveland brought James in here for, and they cleared house. This is the reason why they went all in. This is us putting us in the championship conversation. If we can get through this series as the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's not going to be easy for for Cleveland to do that.
Right.
This is a real series that we're about to watch, and to me it's pretty even. It's an evenly matched series.
Yeah, listen, Harden has been with the Cavaliers for exactly 33 games if we're including the playoffs, so obviously still working through some things, but it's an important series, and that's because they're going against a Detroit Pistons team. They've built their chemistry over the course of a season. They had 60 wins, and offensively, what have you seen from them specifically in this postseason so far?
Well, they got to deal with the guy that makes everything work for Detroit. We want Duren to do is just set great screens, right, to free up Cade a little bit, get his man off his body, and throw in lobs. And here is just greatness. Guys getting confused, leave Cade wide open, and Duren just doing what he does best in a crowd of Magic people, just getting rebounds and putting it back up. Here he is, being a reliever for Cade to open him up on the perimeter, getting easy shots, wide open right there in the corner for Tobias Harris is going to be key for them to win this series. And this is Cade just being an all-NBA type guy, splitting two guys, actually it's three there, to get an easy basket. This is what they're going to have to slow down. And you can try to throw all kind of defenses at him. He's seen it all. He moves at his pace. He's going to do what he does. It's just up to the Cleveland Cavaliers to slow down the other guys. Gotcha. You're going to have a very tough time slowing this guy down right here because he's going to get wherever he wants on the basketball court. For me, the one Achilles heel for Cade Cunningham that I think if they want to become a championship team, he has all the skills. 5.9 turnovers in the playoffs right now is the one thing that can hurt them in a series that is going to be tight. All the skills, 5.9 turnovers in the playoffs right now is the one thing that can hurt them in a series that is going to be tight. Because as they move further, if they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, if they make it to the finals, almost 6 turnovers, that can hurt your team. I mean, this is a very physical team that causes a lot of chaos on the defensive end, and the other guy on the other side
does the same thing.
I agree. Well, we're talking about Cade right now. I agree. He might be offset, but I'm gonna say this to you guys. With James Harden running those pick and rolls and having Duren in that drop coverage, he's so good at being able to slow the guard down coming off of that pick and roll and getting back to the roll guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how James get downhill because his effort on the pick and roll is incredible on how he's able to do multiple things guarding the pick and roll, and I'm talking about Jalen Duren.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see how that all maps out in those matchups here tonight. Let's get to Jay Croucher, though. He's back with his star player parlay from DraftKings Sportsbook. Who you rolling with tonight, Jay?
We were just talking about him, Maria. I'm rolling with Jalen Duren, 18+ points as the first leg. Look, rough first round for Jalen Duren, but that's one 7-game sample against one specific opponent. We have a full season sample of Jalen Duren playing like an all-NBA player. I think he gets back on track tonight in a new matchup. He scored 24 and 33 points his past 2 games against the Cavs. Second leg, Max Strus, 2 or more threes. I think you'll learn a lot about your team in a Game 7. I think Kenny Atkinson might have learned that Max Strus, with his shooting, his spacing, his toughness, he unlocks some of their best lineups. He played 31 minutes in Game 7 against the Raptors, took 8 threes. I expect him to make 2 or more tonight. And final leg, Jared Allen to record a block. He's had multiple blocks in each of his past 6 games. He just needs one for this bet to hit. And look, Jared Allen, much maligned in the playoffs, but the main reason the Cavs are playing tonight is because of Allen's third quarter against the Raptors in Game 7. The lights were not too bright for Jared Allen in that game. The lights were the perfect level of dimness. He was incredible, and I think he protects the paint again tonight, Maria.
Yeah, and he said that he wanted to make sure his team knew that they could win. He had 22 points and 19 rebounds in that Game 7. Great stuff.